Hi everybody, this is Nancy from Natureworks, and this is part 4 of our series on bulbs. And today I want to talk to you about bulbs that are critter proof. And I love bulbs. You know it now. You know I love bulbs. I'm just so in love with them. They're so easy to plant. They're the last thing you do before you finish up your garden. And then next spring and early summer, you're like, yay, I planted bulbs. You'll be so proud of yourself. So a lot of people have problems with voles or deer eating their bulbs. And there's a solution for that. If you want to plant bulbs that are not critter proof, such as full-size tulips or maybe the big giant crocuses or something, then we use Repellent Systemic, which is an all-natural granular powder in the planting hole. It makes the bulbs taste like garlic. It's brought up into the bulb and it protects them over the winter. The trick is, in the spring, as soon as the bulbs emerge, you want to apply it again. And that will get it through its entire spring and early summer life cycle. And then that's all you have to do, and it's protected. So this is a great product. It allows a lot of our customers to plant bulbs that they never used to be able to plant. If you don't want to use Repellent Systemic, or you just are looking for critter-proof bulbs, here's a few suggestions. And I'm going to show them to you in order of bloom. And when you are thinking about designing with bulbs and planting bulbs, you really want to go to our new website, natureworksgardencenter.com, and check out these handouts. We have one called Bulb Basics. Which side is up? How deep do you plant them? All that kind of stuff, okay? How do you feed them? I mean, the basics. How do you dig the hole? What do you use? And then the other one is You Can Never Have Too Many Spring Bulbs, which is more of a design handout. So these are up on our website, and they're there for you to study and share with your friends and tell them all about our bulbs. So here's some nice fun bulbs that are critter proof and really, really unusual. This one looks like a snowdrop, but it isn't. It's called Leucojum gravitae giant, and it's like a giant snowdrop that blooms in May. It gets about 15 inches tall, fabulous cut flower, dangling flowers with little green dots, grows in sun or shade, is totally perennial, nobody eats it, and it looks really good in the shade garden. Say you had in your shade garden something like this Japanese forest sedge grass, Hacking the Chloe. Now this is probably going to only be about this tall in May. So if you had this near it, it would fill the gap where this was. And then as this gets bigger, these will go dormant. So that's one of the tricks of the trade of how we do this. The next two critter-proof bulbs are two very different alliums. Allium Purple Sensation is like our go-to allium. It's not the biggest, most giant allium. The flowers are probably about this big around, okay? So they're not huge, but they're early. They're the first to come out in May. They're incredibly perennial. And they also can be put in between the crowns of your perennials, or you can hide them in plants you can have them come up through the foliage like the Samsonia. So we don't do a separate bulb bed. The bulbs go right in the garden, and they help us either double the color in the garden or hide some of the early gaps. After that is Allium Christophii, and this is called Star of Persia. And this has a much more open form, a little bit lighter lilac color. The diameter of the flower is 8 to 12 inches, but it only stands about this high. So you want to place this kind of near the foreground of the garden. One of my favorite things to do with this, I'll be right back, I love to plant it through Nepeta or catmint, because they bloom at the same time. And so when you plant this, in this fall, you cut back or just lift up the Nepeta, put the bulbs all around it out here. When the Nepeta grows, people go, wait a minute, which is the flower? Is it this flower or is it that flower that goes with these leaves? It's a riot. You can fool everybody, okay? So that's late May, June. This is the same time period, but this is a really cool bulb. This is Mediterranean bells or honey garlic. Everybody talks about this. This grows up really tall. This comes up about 2.5 feet. And the flowers are that color and they dangle over. and they are so unusual. Everybody asks about them. We have them in our demonstration gardens. I have them in my home garden, and they're actually edible. They're very, very powerful garlic flavor. I think another common name is Sicilian honey garlic. So this is cool, and think about putting this with maybe burgundy leaf heucheras or dwarf weigelias or anything that can pick up that dark burgundy or red color as a foliage accent plant next to it. And then finally, in terms of varmint proof, this is my favorite, late Narcissus. We talk in all of our handouts and all the time about succession of bloom, and most Narcissus or daffodils bloom in April, but not this guy. Yellow cheerfulness and its white cousin, white cheerfulness, or just cheerfulness, bloom in May. And they are so fragrant, and nobody bothers them. They're not eaten by any varmints, they're not eaten by deer, and they're 100% perennial that will spread every year, and they fill a vase with the sweetest perfume. So when you download our handouts, you'll see that we talk about adding organic granular fertilizer such as Sustain to the planting holes, and we tell you how to plant and how to dig the holes and which end is up. So we have a really good selection of bulbs this year. We love bulbs. If you come into Natureworks, we'll help you pick out ones that will work for whatever conditions you have or whatever your style of garden is. So this is Nancy from Natureworks saying, see you at the garden center. Bye-bye.